When astronomers first looked through a telescope and saw Saturn, many of them could not believe their eyes. They thought the telescope was broken and that something was wrong. They felt that no object in the universe could look like this. Those rings stretching 175,226 miles, or about 282,000 kilometers from one end to the other. They are so thin that if you scaled them down, they would be thinner than a sheet of paper. Made up of billions of pieces of ice and rock, each one orbiting Saturn in perfect silence, reflecting sunlight like a crown placed around a god. This is the most beautiful thing in our solar system. For 4 centuries from the moment Galileo first looked up at the night sky, not a single scientist, not a single poet, and not a single child has ever looked at Saturn and thought anything other than that. This is beauty. This is a wonder. Everyone agreed on that. Everyone was wrong. Those rings are not beautiful. They are not a wonder. They are not something the universe created for us to look at. They are a crime scene. Every piece of ice you see in those rings, every piece of rock reflecting that light, used to be a part of something else. A moon, a complete world, an object with its own gravity, its own surface, and its own history. Saturn tore it apart, piece by piece, and then spread its remains into a circle for us to call beauty. But that is not the worst part. The worst part is that we do not know who the victim was. We do not know how many victims there were, and the only remaining evidence, the only thing proving that a world once existed there, is disappearing. Right now, in real time. When it is completely gone, the crime will be perfect. This is Saturn. This is what it actually did. To understand what happened, you need to know 3 things in order. First, where those rings came from, and not the simple answer you have been told, the real answer. The answer we have only begun to understand in recent decades, and it is not comfortable at all. Second, what is happening to those rings right now, not in the next millions of years, right now, in real time. And why that means you are living in an unprecedented astronomical moment, a moment that will never happen again. Third, what Saturn is doing to its remaining moons right now, in silence, and why it suggests that what happened once will happen again. But you have never been told the whole truth. For decades, the most popular theory about the origin of Saturn's rings was that they formed at the same time as the planet, that they were leftover raw materials from the early days of the solar system, which never gathered together to form a complete moon. A neat story, a comfortable story, a story that does not require anyone to die. That was wrong. Those rings are much younger than Saturn, and much younger than the solar system. According to data from the Cassini spacecraft, the ship that spent 13 years orbiting Saturn, measuring every tiny detail of that planet before we ordered it to plunge straight into the atmosphere. These rings are only about 100 to 400 million years old. For comparison, Saturn has existed for 4.5 billion years. When those rings formed, dinosaurs were already walking on Earth. These rings are not relics of the cosmic dawn. They are a fresh wound. The wound of an event that happened recently, according to the astronomical timescale. That means something used to exist and then existed no more. And what is left of it is now orbiting Saturn in silence, so beautiful that we call it a wonder. We never asked for the name of the victim, but that is just the surface. Saturn does not need a collision to kill. It does not need extreme temperatures or radiation. Its weapon is much more subtle and much more ruthless. Every large celestial body has an invisible boundary surrounding it, known as the Roche limit. This is the distance within which the gravitational force of the planet is stronger than the force keeping an object intact. Inside that boundary, no moon can survive. No object large enough can maintain its shape. Saturn's gravity will pull one side of that object harder than the other until it begins to be stretched out, then ripped apart, then crushed into smaller fragments, then even smaller, and even smaller until nothing is left larger than a grain of dust. Saturn's Roche limit ends exactly where the rings begin. That is not a coincidence. A moon or a large object from deep space came too close. Maybe its orbit was knocked off balance by Jupiter's gravity. Maybe it was pulled in slowly over millions of years. Either way, it crossed that line. And Saturn, with no rush, no noise, and no warning, tore it to pieces. Those pieces are now the rings, the most beautiful thing in the solar system. created from the most perfect and silent destruction we have ever known. But that is just the surface. In 2022, a group of scientists proposed a name for that lost moon. They called it Chrysalis. According to their model, Chrysalis was a moon about the size of Iapetus, one of Saturn's largest moons today. It had orbited Saturn for billions of years, stable and predictable, a part of the orderly moon system that Saturn had maintained since its early formation. Then its orbit became unstable. We do not know why. Maybe it was gravitational resonance accumulating over millions of years. Maybe it was a disturbance from another passing object. Either way, Chrysalis began to move inward. Slowly at first, then irreversibly. When it crossed the Roche limit, it did not explode right away. It was stretched out first, deformed. Its shape changed as one side was pulled harder than the other. Over millions of years, so slow that nothing could be observed in a single human lifetime, it was unraveled piece by piece. And when that process was complete, what remained spread out into a circle, flat and smooth. Silent and beautiful, Chrysalis was no longer a world, it was a cloud. And we have looked at it for centuries and called it art. But here is the thing no one tells you when they show you those pictures. The rings are disappearing, not in the distant future, and not in some theoretical scenario. Right now, in real time, the ice particles in those rings are falling onto Saturn's surface, pulled into its atmosphere by the planet's own magnetic field and gravity. Scientists call this ring rain, and it is happening at a rate of about 22,046 pounds, which is about 10,000 kilograms per second. Every second, 22,046 pounds, which is 10,000 kilograms of those rings, disappear into Saturn. Right now, in the very moment you are hearing these words. At the current rate, scientists estimate that those rings will completely disappear in about 100 million years, maybe even sooner. That means you, not humanity in general, not some future civilization, but exactly you, are living in the narrowest astronomical window imaginable. Those rings only exist for 400 million years, and they will be gone in another 100 million years. Out of Saturn's total lifespan of 4.5 billion years, the window where those rings exist accounts for less than 12%. And you are standing exactly inside that window, not because of luck, not because of fate, but because this is when we happen to show up, early enough to see, late enough to understand. Here is what no one tells you. Saturn currently has 146 confirmed moons, more than any other planet in the solar system. And for decades we looked at that as a wonder, a complex, diverse, and rich system, evidence of the generosity of the universe. But when you look at the orbits of those moons, when you track them, measure them, and model them over millions of years, you see something. A pattern that we can no longer unsee. Saturn's smallest moons are moving. Bit by bit, century by century, they are drifting. Their orbits are changing. And the direction many of them are changing is inward. Not all of them, and not all at once, but enough to raise the question no one wants to ask directly. Was Chrysalis the first time? There is evidence suggesting that Saturn's primordial moon system was completely different from what we see today. That there might have been more, larger moons, complete worlds with their own histories, that crossed that boundary before Chrysalis. That what we call the rings might just be the latest layer of a much older graveyard. A graveyard that Saturn has built patiently and quietly over billions of years. Saturn is not just a planet with beautiful rings. Saturn is a planet that is digesting its moons. And it has been doing this long enough that what is left looks like art. And that changes everything. We have looked at Saturn for centuries and seen beauty, and that beauty is real. It is not an illusion. Those rings really are the most beautiful thing our telescopes have ever pointed at. But now we know what we are looking at. We know that beauty came at the cost of the destruction of a world. That every ice particle reflecting that light used to be a part of something. A surface, a crust, a place with terrain and history. Maybe something that deserved to be remembered. We will never know. The only remaining evidence is the beauty it has become. And in another 100 million years, even that will be gone. Saturn will be a planet with no rings, no trace, and no record. The perfect, complete crime. But we saw it, we gave it a name, Chrysalis. A name for something that has not existed for 100 million years. but is now recorded, remembered, retold. Perhaps that is all we can do for lost worlds, to look long enough to realize what they actually are. The universe does not owe us answers, but we owe ourselves the questions.